The 2024 Visionary Principal of the Year Secondary Level and the New Jersey representative of the NASSP Principal of the Year Award is Dr. Neil Burti. Neil Burti is the principal of Carusi Middle School in Cherry Hill, where the CARES framework guides their practice.
CARES is essentially a framework that talks about our expectations and our values around the way we conduct ourselves. CARES asks each of us to care for ourselves, care for our school, and care for others.
So we came up with a Carusi CARES framework, which really is our way to kind of have students be part of the process of behaviors and expectations, right? So we're always talking about, hey, you made that decision. Was that showing how you care for yourself or care for others, right? So it's the constant motto in everything we do. It's kind of ingrained in every decision we make here at Carusi, and that was really under Dr. Burti's leadership.
So when you think about restorative practices, it's not that there's an absence of a response if a child needs an appropriate response. But what he seeks to do is he seeks to help to guide children if they're experiencing difficulties by providing them with the levels of support that they need, by engaging with himself, by engaging with his administrative team, by engaging with staff members.
Yeah, the goal is to restore the community. So whatever was damaged, we have to repair it. And so we have to talk to kids. He's good at talking to kids and figuring out why and what we can do better to move forward.
To help transition students coming back from the COVID-19 years, Dr. Burti added the position of student advocate, charged with helping students in need.
So we used some creative scheduling and some flexibility that we had to create programs, really people-intense programs like Mustang Mentoring and our student advocate position. And those positions really are as straightforward as their titles sound. It's really about making sure that every child in this building has an adult that they know, that they trust, that they feel safe in the presence of, and they can go to should they need something outside of the classroom.
That student advocate position has been a lifesaver to my role here because she embraced sixth grade families and challenges and students and teachers. So it was a great way to get the pulse on new sixth graders and their families and what they need. And because I manage both sixth and eighth grade, sometimes eighth graders use up a lot of my time. So having the advocate position was a great new addition.
You can see the developmental differences. These kids that are in sixth grade now were home for second and third grade. What things would they have learned at that time? What needs do they have? Even in some of our classes, our science teachers were saying, these kids don't know how to borrow for math. Why don't they know how to do that? Well, they were home when they learned how to do that in second and third grade, and these little skills that are just kind of falling by the wayside. So Neil is really good at identifying the needs of students.
It's not always about academics. When we have a student who is socially and emotionally feeling okay, they're learning, right? That's the best way for students to learn. So the advocate piece really became that additional piece during our team meetings when we would talk about a student who's struggling. It wasn't always like they're doing not well in an academic core. It's they're not doing well in all cores. They're not coming to school on time. So those pieces of meeting with teachers and the advocate and then bringing the students in, by the time the 1 year was over with our advocate, students will say, I need to see student advocate, right? I need before we talk about this, can I please come see? So it just becomes that support that is ingrained in students and they know that the support is there.
He always kind of tries his best to make everyone feel like they belong here and everybody's welcome here. And he tries to get on a personal level with everybody. And he's always trying to be around us and near us and welcoming us and stuff like that.
You have a staff and faculty who are dedicated to the students, who are connected as well with the leadership vision that Neil has established. And then you have kids who are absolutely beautiful kids and wonderful, hospitable, kind kids. It really is fascinating to see, the community that he's developed here at Carusi Middle School.
I played baseball and basketball, and he was there like almost at every single game. Like all the home games and stuff, he was there. Mm-hmm. Our basketball team was in the championship. He was there. It was like maybe a half hour away, and he was there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I play baseball and wrestling, but we were in the playoffs for wrestling. I think we were in Moorestown, and he made the trip all the way over there with the vice principal, and he came check us out.
Yeah.
I do all sorts of performing arts stuff. So I was in like drama program. We have a variety show here, and he always shows up to whatever shows he can. He'll pop in on rehearsals sometimes, and he's just really positive about showing up to like not just sports but performances and like catering to other clubs as well.
There's a reflection of ourselves and kids, right? If I come in as a teacher and I have a bad attitude and I'm not in a mood, the kids see that and they match you, right? They match your tone. So our kids match tone with Neil. They want to be at school. They're smiling in the hallways. They're reacting to seeing him in the hallways. They want him around and involved. And the staff do too.
Yeah, well, I actually have this conversation with kids frequently because I know they're not going to remember, the math test, or they're not going to remember, the 5-paragraph essay. They're going to remember the friendships they made here. They're going to remember the teachers that, in some ways, in a lot of ways, were life-changing for them. They're going to remember the connections they made beyond the classrooms, and that they were able to hopefully find their passion. Something was ignited inside them and inspired them to find out what their greater purpose is, and to go and seek that outside of Carusi.
I'll remember like all the memories that he's provided for the school, and I'll always remember Carusi. And he's been he's probably the best principal I've ever had. And yeah.
Definitely.
He's created just such a memorable environment, such a happy environment, and there's not anything bad really. It's all going to be good memories.